Hafideh and Minagov Talawani, the Committee on Rules hereby calls this meeting to order. For the record, today is Wednesday, February 10th, 2021, and the time is now 8:06 or 2:07 in the afternoon. At this time, I'd like to call the Core Director, Ms. Mary Maravilla. Will you please take roll call of the members?
Chairperson Vice Speaker Muña Barnes.
Gagia, good afternoon.
Vice Chair Shelton.
Buenas Hafideh.
Speaker Terlahi. Senator Nelson. Senator San Augustine. Senator Rajel. Senator Pito Terlahi. Senator Perez. Senator Torres. Senator Blas. Madam Chair, you have a quorum.
Sizus Masi, Core Director. At this time, I'd ask my Vice Chair for a motion to excuse members, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move to excuse members not present.
Is there a second? There was a motion by Vice Chair, Legislative Secretary Shelton, and second by Senator Pito Terlahi to excuse members not present. Are there any objections? Seeing or hearing none, motion carries. We are now on item number 3, document tracking. The first item of core business is an update on the document tracking. Our legislative secretary will now provide her report, which can be found on the Google Drive folder for this meeting titled 01 Legislative Secretary's Report for those who are accessing the electronic device. But Legislative Secretary, Vice Chair, I will recognize you at this time.
Sidious Masi, Madam Chair, Hafideh colleagues. The Legislative Secretary reports to date is as follows. Appointments made by the Governor. There are 13 appointments submitted by Governor Lulian Guerrero to date. There are no zone change requests at this time and no rules and regulations requests at this time. Sidious Masi.
Sidious Masi, Vice Chair. At this time, next item of business is the ratification of referrals. The referrals of the bills and appointments are indicated. Did we just talk about it? Are indicated and can be found on the Google Drive with in the Google Drive folder for this meeting titled 02 Legislative Item Logs. Does the Chair hear a motion to ratify the referrals of the bills numbers 1-36LS through 57-36? So moved by Senator Torres and seconded by Vice Chair Legislative Shelton. Are there any objections? Seeing or hearing none, motion carries. At this time, we are now on referral of appointments. Does the Chair hear a motion to ratify the referral of appointments? Again, there has been a motion by Senator Torres and seconded by the Vice Chair. Are there any objections? Seeing or hearing none, motion carries. On the referral of resolutions, does the Chair hear a motion to ratify the referral of resolutions 16-36 COR?
So moved.
So moved by Legislative Secretary and seconded by Senator Torres. Are there any objections? Seeing or hearing none, motion carries. Colleagues, we are now on the portion of item number 4, session agenda, reports of the standing committee chairpersons. We'll now move to the consideration of items eligible for placement on the session agenda. And at this time, I will recognize the Vice Chair, Legislative Secretary Shelton. If you can first move and then proceed with yours. Yes, please.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I first move to place the nomination of Nolan G.T. Flores to serve as a member, student representative of the Guam Public Library System Board of Directors with the recommendation to do confirm on the session agenda.
And it was from what committee?
From the Committee on Public Accountability, Human Resources, the Guam Buildup, Hagåtña Revitalization, Regional Affairs, Public Libraries, Telecommunications, and Technology.
Is there a second to that? Second by Senator Pito Terlahi. Are there any objections? Seeing or hearing none, motion carries. Vice Chair.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. And again, from the Committee on Public Accountability, Human Resources, the Guam Buildup, Hagåtña Revitalization, Regional Affairs, Public Libraries, Telecommunications, and Technology, I move to place Bill number 31-36 COR, an act to add Section 4101.2 to Chapter 4 of Title 4 Guam Code Annotated relative to modernizing a process which would allow for the streamlining in the recruitment and hiring of law enforcement officers to be known as the Swift Appointment Modernization Act of 2021 onto the session agenda.
There was a second. Thank you very much, Legislative Secretary and Vice Chair, and then seconded by Senator Pito. Are there any objections to that? Seeing or hearing none, motion carries. Vice Chair, you're still recognized on yours. Any? Nothing else? Speaker Therese Terlahi, you are recognized at this time on your committees.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd move to place Bill 39, but I don't see it on this, but
Speaker, if I may, I would like to allow you to go ahead and do the title, who the author is, and we'll go ahead and take it in as a notice. And if it was submitted, I was going to report all the bills that were submitted, but working with the standing rules on Section 6.04 and Section 1.02 of Rule 1, we will duly note it in case it meets the 24-hour deadline when we're in session. So I will allow you to go ahead and note it, especially knowing that we have received several bills and the Committee on Rules has been doing their due diligence to entertain all the bills that have come in, even past the deadline. We are still working with the committee to really look at following the guidelines based on our standing rules. So you may proceed.
thank you, Madam Chair. So we submitted a committee report for Bill number 39-36 COR as amended by the Committee on Health, Land, Justice, and Culture, introduced by Senator Therese Terlahi, an act to amend sections 61303A, 61620, 61634, 61645 of Chapter 61, and to amend sections 66208, 66212A, 66303, 66307, 66406, and 66407 of Chapter 66, all of Title 21, Guam Code Annotated, relative to enforcing the terms and conditions of conditional use permits, variances, and zone changes. So we'd like to move that this be placed on the session agenda. It was submitted to Committee on Rules 10 a.m., I think.
This morning.
Yes.
Madam Speaker, thank you very much. I'm going to, as chair, going to duly note that the submission was received by the Committee on Rules on February 10th at 9:46 a.m. And as soon as we meet the timelines, it will be uploaded. So duly noted. You still have the floor, ma'am.
No other motions.
Thank you. Next, we have Senator Joseph Augustine.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I don't have any bills that are on the agenda, but I do have two bills that are being routed. Well, one specifically is 13-36, introduced by Senator Mary Camacho Torres. That should be at the core, but it's a matter of clearing to be available. And then bill number 1 that was heard today is being finished off. It'll probably won't be addressed until next week.
Duly noted, Senator, do you have anything else?
No, that's the only two. We'll work on the other bills that we did have hearing, trying to close it up.
Thank you.
Senator
Thank-
Chair, if I may,
Senator-
Senator San Augustine, should we move Bill 14?
Only because I don't have the listing. If you have it, please. You have it there?
Madam Speaker, if I may, for, okay, he's
Yes, please,
I can read it now.
yes,
I got it.
yes. Mr.
Okay,
Senator?
Madam Chair, request that Bill 14-36 COR, as amended by the Committee on Health, Land, Justice, and Culture, an act to amend Section 61309C4A of Chapter 61, Title 21, Guam Code annotated relative to fast tracking Guam Land Use Commission conditional use application for temporary worker housing facilities during pandemic conditions of readiness. Ma'am.
You did note the sponsors, right?
The sponsors are yourself, Madam Vice Speaker, and Senator Jim Wynn.
Thank you. Again, to note for the record, the committee report was submitted by the Oversight Chair on February 10th and received February 9th, it was received at 9 p.m. in the evening, but noted because it was sent to another email address, the receiving wasn't until this morning at 8 o'clock. So based on that, again, Committee on Rules will do its due diligence, and when it gets uploaded, we can entertain it then. Duly noted. Anything else, Senator San Augustine? Senator Pito?
Madam Chair, thank you very much.
What for-
Madam Chair, thank you very much. I move to place Bill number 2636 to the session floor, and if I may read the contents of the bill.
Please proceed.
Bill number 2636 COR is amended by the Committee on Air Transportation, Parks, Tourism, Higher Education, and the Advancement of Women, Youth, Senior Citizens, an act to add a new section 77203.1 to Article 2 of Chapter 77, Division 2, Title 21, Guam Code annotated relative to establishing the Civilian Volunteer Territorial Park Patrol Officer Reserves. Thank you, Madam Chair.
There has been a second to that motion by Senator Joe San Augustine. Are there any objections to this being placed on the session agenda? Hearing none, motion carries. Senator Pito, is there anything else?
Madam Speaker, thank you very much, but that's the only one that I wanted to refer to the committee.
That's been reported out. Thank you. Senator Sabina.
Zuz Masi. Madam Chair, I'd like to place Bill number 24-36 COR as amended by the Committee on Environment, Revenue and Taxation, Labor, Procurement, and Statistics Research and Planning, sponsored by Senator James C. Moylan, co-sponsored by Senators Mary Camacho Torres, Christopher M. Duenas, and Frank F. Blas Jr. It's an act to amend Section 3105 of Article 1, Chapter 3, Title 22, Guam Code annotated, relative to amending the date of implementation of the second tier of the Public Law 3538 from March 1st, 2021 to March 1st, 2022.
Is there a second?
Second.
There is a second. There's a second by Senator Frank Blas. On that motion to place Bill number 24-26 COR, are there any objections? Seeing or hearing none, motion carries. Senator Parrish, you still have the floor.
No further motions, Madam Speaker, or Madam Chair.
Thank you. Senator Mary Torres, you are recognized. Do you have anything at this time? Senator Frank Blas.
Thank you, Madam Chair, Vice Speaker. I'd like to be able to move 3 separate bills onto the session agenda. I'd like to first move to place Bill number 11-36 COR, authored by Senator Chris Duenas and co-sponsored by Senators V. Anthony Ada and James C. Moylan, an act to amend Section 19 405B of Title 10 Guam Code annotated relative to requiring legislative authorization to extend a declaration of state of public health emergency, which shall be known as the Restoration of Separation of Powers Act.
I apologize. Is there a second to that motion on placing Bill number 11-36 COR to the agenda? Is there a second? Senator Blas, I apologize, we do not have a second to that. Are there any other bills you'd
I'll
like to be
second
placed
it,
on the
Madam
agenda?
Chair.
Hang on, Madam Speaker.
There, you put a second, Senator Speaker? There has been a second to Bill number 11-36 COR. Are there any objections? Are there any objections?
Madam Speaker, can you clarify, Madam Chair, can you clarify for us? This has been received by the committee? Has it been reviewed and posted?
I do apologize, Vice Chair, you are correct, Legislative Secretary. I will note for the record that 11-36 COR, as looking at the report, has been submitted by the Oversight Chair, Speaker Terlahi, on February 10th, 2021 at 11:16 a.m. Once it gets its due diligence, it will go through the process and upload it. We would entertain it then. So duly noted on Bill number 11-36. Senator Blas, you're still recognized.
Has that been moved? So it's
No,
on?
I noted it for the record.
Okay.
So once it goes through its process based on our standing rules, then it can be entertained then.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
So you still have the floor if you want to look at any other bill.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Then I'd also like to move Bill number 31-36 COR, sponsored by Senator James Moylan, an act to add subsection 4101.
Senator Blas, that was already placed on the agenda.
You did it already?
Yes,
Oh, thank you very much.
you're very welcome.
Okay, so then I would like to. Okay.
Yes, we have,
Oh, then, Madam Speaker, then I'd also like to move then Bill number 38-36 COR, sponsored by Senator Telo Taitigui, an act to amend subsection 61106B of Article 1, Chapter 61, Division 2, Title 21, Guam Code annotated, relative to establishing an administrative fine for the director of a member agency of the Application Review Committee that fails to provide required reports or position statements on land use applications.
thank you, Senator Blas. I could not ask for a second on this. This bill has not been reported out to the Committee on Rules, and as once it goes through that process, we can entertain it at that time, but it has not been received by the Committee on Rules.
Thank you, Madam
So
Speaker.
just want to note that
Bill
for the record.
38?
No?
Bill 38?
I've got it that it was submitted on Tuesday, February 9th at 7:46 PM.
Again, I stand corrected. I apologize. Senator Blas, please accept my apologies. Bill
Accepted.
number 38-36 OR was received by the Committee on Rules on February 10th at 9:07 a.m. Was reported by the Committee on Health, Lands, Justice, and Culture, and as soon as it goes through its due diligence, we can entertain it then. Duly noted. I apologize, and
Thank you,
very
Madam
much for
Speaker.
your understanding.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. So just for the, just to confirm, so that I make sure that I've got them, we are in consideration of Bill 11-36. We've already moved on Bill 24-36. We moved on Bill 31-36 and also 38-36. For consideration, right, but we, right? Because you still have to do the diligence on it. Am I correct? 38-36.
Sure. Which one is that? Bill number 6 has been received, but
Okay.
has not been uploaded.
So it's going to be
Senator.
under consideration.
Yes, so
Thank you.
it's duly noted.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Anything else, Senator Blas?
You want me to stop right now.
Thank you very much, Senator Blas. At this time, if there's no, I'm going to take just a moment's recess. The Committee on Rules is back from recess. Thank you very much, colleagues, for the moment's recess. We are back, and at this time, we are part of the agenda where there's an extension of, I apologize, we are now in item C, adoption of session agenda with the placements of these bills in the agenda. Do we have a motion? A draft session agenda has been provided to each of you, which can be found in the Google Drive of this meeting. Is there a motion right now to place bills in the second reading, file, and appointments under legislative concurrence? So moved.
Second.
There's a motion by Senator Blas and a second by Senator San Augustine. Are there any objections? Seeing or hearing none, motion carries. For the adoption of the agenda, Vice Chair, you are recognized.
Madam Chair, if I could make a motion before we adopt the agenda? I'd just like to add on, I'm not sure we need a formal motion, but I'd like to, on the first day of session, while we are on second reading, make a motion or notwithstanding to go into committee of the whole right before 12 noon to do two things. One would be to swear in our attaché, the chaplain, who was not able to be present during our inauguration. And the second is to present a resolution during the committee of the whole on that day to former Speaker Joaquin Arriola.
Definitely, Speaker, and if I may ask my colleagues, we can do that in one motion for both. Do I have a second for that? Second by Senator Joe San Augustine. Are there any objections? Seeing or hearing none, motion carries. Thank you so very much, Speaker, for acknowledging both of that. Again, on the adoption of the session agenda, if there's no other, please, Vice Chair.
Thank you
are
very
recognized.
much, Madam Chair. I move to adopt the session agenda for February 12th.
On that motion, are there any objections? Seeing or hearing none, I will go ahead and see first to take the second so we can follow continuity on that motion. Is there a second? There's a second. Seeing or hearing none? Not any objections? Seeing or hearing none? Motion carries. We are now on extension of remarks. Are there anyone wishing to make an extension of remarks? Again, I just want to thank the Speaker for acknowledging both the resolution for that. On a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Thank you. We are adjourned. It is now 2:30 p.m. Thank you very much, colleagues, for your time.